Hell yeah. We're going for it. Harbiters. Nasty, tricksy harbiters. Tricksy and farce. Smeagol parachuting to military harbiters. We're gonna go there, precious, and we're gonna get all the sickest lootses. Needs it, wants it, must have the lootses, must have it. Dude, where is everybody else at? Did no one jump mill base? This is impossible, dude. Impossible. I figured there would be like a bunch of people here, dude, that would try to stretch to mill base. No one stretched to mill base. Are you kidding me? Level 2 darker helmet. Scope. Got an AK now. Let me take the AK or the shoddy. I just hope I get a dot sight in here because I'd like to just leave the mill base and push north and fight. All right, here we go. Here's the walkthrough. Okay, we just barely looted mill base. The whole reason I jumped mill base is because I wanted to actually fight people. And I figured there would be quite a few people that tried to stretch a mill base, and that if we could beat them there on the stretch, I could get a gun and turn back and kill a lot of them. But since no one was there, my plan was to just go in, try to loot as fast as we could. I didn't even get a dot, but we got good on everything else. We got good armor. It'd be nice to have a dot. It'd be nice to have got a comp for the AK, but it is what it is. We're going to push out, and we're going to go and look for more fights. The plane was flying like this game, so likely Pachinki had a lot of people jump to it. School had a lot of people jump to it. So I'd say assume most people are between Pachinki to like farm past the school. The most density of players I'd assume is around that area. So that's about the area that I'm going to go. So I'm already good on meds for the most part. Could use more boosters. These are things that I like to note when I'm actually trying to play a little bit more serious of like, okay, how many meds I got, how many boosters I got. If I kill some guy, what do I want to grab? What do I need? I need a comp or a barrel attachment. Could use a grip. Could use a dot sight. I'm not going to pick up an M4 or a Vector so we can drop the tac stock. Extended mag, I'll keep. Really, the only reason I want to keep this extended mag is if I'm going to get a crate sniper, which I could, so we can hold on to it. It's not really a big deal. We have so much space. There's no reason to drop it. Don't need the shotgun shells, though. 9 mil, I'm going to hang on to. Who knows? I might try to use a UMP or something. Maybe. Maybe I'll have that feeling to use the UMP. All right, so we got shots down towards the school. Like I said, this is probably the area where most people will end up being. Not on the side of this hill, but anywhere around here. Probably down by the buildings and whatnot. It's already down to 41 people. A ton of people have already died off. That doesn't mean that we can't get still a decent amount of kills. The main reason I was like thinking about the drop when we're trying to find people, if you're trying to go for a higher kill game, you should probably think about the drop, because often you will find that players do not venture that far from the drop. The majority of players do not venture that far from the drop. Now, yeah, of course, there might be some that go out further that try to get loot, kind of like I do sometimes, but that's not going to be the majority of the players. The majority of players are going to jump into like the closest things to the plane, Pachinki, the school, Rozhawk, these buildings, and they're going to look for gear there, and then they're going to look to fight. So they'll all be around usually the same areas, the majority of them, and then the other guys will get a little bit spread out. Now, this has already been looted. Doors are open everywhere. There could still be a guy lurking around, hiding in a building, of course. And that can also be the case in Pachinki. We know we did hear gunshots towards the school or the apps. Vehicle is coming down the road. It's going back behind the buildings. And there's another vehicle that just started up. Desync out the yin yang. He doesn't look like he has a helmet, and I don't think it was for me shooting it. Now he's tumbling. There's another vehicle starting up at school, driving this way. He's trying to take shots at the vehicle. He's super low. He has a level 3 vest, it looks like, and a level 1 helmet. If we hit him in his helmet, he's likely going to be dead. He's stranded out here in the middle of this field now. He's probably going to jump back in this vehicle. Potato. He headshot me. Med back up real quick. Hopefully we don't get shot in the back. Now, this is also the thing. Whenever you play aggressive, usually you get in these fights and they last a little while. Can end up screwing you. There it is. Said if we land the headshot, he's likely going to die because he only has level 1 helmet. He's going to lose a lot of health. Since we don't have a grip or anything to stabilize the gun, we're getting a lot of sway, which makes it a lot harder to aim, precisely when your gun's moving around constantly. But hey, we got him. Also, I think there's going to be a guy towards the apps. This is the guy, I think, that came from school. We need to get a helmet. Likely there's still one in school, so we could go in there and find one. There it is, boosters. We already have a 3-bag. There's this. There's our dot. Take an 8-scope in case we get a sniper. Replenish a little bit of our ammo. Matter of fact, let's take a whole lot of that. And very grip for us. Good on extended mags. Okay, I'm going to check the school real quick, see if we can get a helmet. Use the AK for close range, and we'll use the 5.56 SCAR for our longer range right now. Unless we find a DMR, then we'll swap it up. I don't have a lot of 7.62, so that's something else that we can be looking for. Hopefully we can get at least a level 1 helmet. There we go. Boom. Not that. Helmet. Another vehicle coming this way. Sounds like it stopped towards Rozhok Hill. Oh, it's still going to drive. Must have, bounced around or something. All right, the circle is pushing this way. Likely, we'll probably get a lot of people coming around yellow because people from Pachinki are going to be pushing in that way. Anyone from around here, they're all going to be going towards, yellow. And I'd also expect to see people moving along this forest. A lot of cars are driving in. Still think we're going to have a guy in these apps somewhere. We've heard him shoot before, and, I mean, if he's sitting in the app still to this point, he's likely just going to keep sitting there until he was forced to move, which this is the time, so maybe he did move out. But let's just be skeptical and think that he's still in this closest one or one of the closer ones. Yeah, I'd expect a few people moving in through this forest here. There's a bike. Either the bike faded away or it stopped. Maybe he... No, he's starting again. Maybe he, hit something. Something else that I've noticed with some players, not with everybody, that when they're, checking the areas surrounding them, they're, slowly scanning around, looking and whatnot, and you shouldn't really do that. It should be more that you, look one direction, and then you move a little bit, and then you check that direction, and then you move a little bit, and you check that direction, because if you're, moving, then everything's moving. Even if you're going slow, it makes it harder to spot people that their movement. Makes it harder to see people in general. You should always just check, kind of one area off at a time as you go. And also something that can help with, spotting people. People are like, how do you spot people? Something else that can help with spotting people is just realizing where people should be traveling in from this circle. there's probably somebody moving in through Pachinki through this forest, or a few people. You know, there's people that probably looted down near the coastline that are running up through this area. So, like, there should be people moving in around here. And realizing where people should be coming from, or could be coming from. And the one other thing that really, when it comes down to spotting people, is that instead of just looking for people, you just look for things that don't seem like that are out of place. Like, you know, if there's someone laying in the grass over there, like, I might not be like, that's a person. I'm just going to see, okay, there's some dark object in the grass over there. What is that? Oh, it's a guy. Like, that tree isn't supposed to look like that. There's, like, something behind that tree. What is it? Oh, it's a guy. Or, oh, it's a rock. Or it's a bike. Someone parked a bike there and left it. You're not always looking for people. You're just looking for things being out of place. Things that are not normal. Things that stand out. Like, if you were to go take a walk through the woods and there's some, like, blue barrel in the fucking woods, you'd probably be like, hey, that's weird. What is this blue thing? Oh, it's a blue barrel just in the woods that's been thrown here. Something like that. So we've seen this guy ahead of us. He's moving down. There's some rocks down here. He's crossing the road. He's headed towards 2 vehicles. So maybe there was a guy that crashed on the bike. He's moving across. So there I realized that he's moving to the tree, or that he's likely going to move to one of the trees here. This one he was already past, so he went to the further one. So I kind of just extended over and then got ready to shoot again before he can make it to that cover. But someone's going to get shot at. Once he starts moving, he's probably heading for cover, right? So you can kind of predict what way he's going and just get ready for it. We don't really need this many. This is something that I always hate in games. This is the time where you really feel like you get the feeling of, like, anxiousness and whatnot because you're freaking looting, and this is one of the, like, most dangerous times, especially in solos when you play, because, like, I could just get one shot by a Kar 98 here when I'm trying to swap these weapons out and grab ammo. So I always usually try to take the least amount of time that I can when I'm looting. And often because of that, I'll end up missing stuff, but I'd rather miss stuff and take less time looting on average, because that'll probably end up saving your life the faster you can loot or just grab things. Like, grab what you need and leave. Obviously, becoming more effective and more efficient at looting helps with that. And you can grab all the stuff you need if you really know what you're wanting to grab. But the more time you spend on a body looting and the less time you spend watching your surroundings around you or moving away from where you just shot, the more likely that you are probably to die on that body. And no one likes dying with no chance of firing back or doing anything. Now, we heard this guy shoot outside the zone. He's got to come in over here somewhere. So I'm waiting for him. We can see where the circle went. It went pretty far, so we can't wait that long. But this guy should be running in here somewhere very soon. We have a hill here, so he's got to get pretty close before I'd actually be able to see him. But he was fighting out there, shooting an SKS. We got the buggy and the bike outside the blue if we really think about it, so maybe I'll grab those instead. Before we heard these gunshots, though, like, this guy should be right here. He could have killed someone with his SKS. He could be looting them out in the blue. I'm going to hit my boosters, because I think I'm going to grab this bike to make it in the next circle. There he is. Like we just said, dude, he should be coming in here. Didn't see him on this side, so we checked the other side. There he is, running in. All right, so there's not that many people left. 18 people. I saw a lot of people driving towards the center of the circle earlier, right? We heard a lot of vehicles, bikes trying to kill us. We saw a lot of vehicles driving around. Usually those guys are the flipping tryhards in the game that are just going to drive to the center of the circle and hide. So a lot of them will probably be in Yasunai and whatnot right now. We don't really want to get involved with that because you just get pinned down. You're not going to really be able to get a whole lot of kills that way. There's probably going to be some people around here. Where I'd really like to get is up towards the center of the circle, elevated next to those yellow houses. I'm going to go around this east side. We're on a bike, so we can travel pretty fast. There's less likely to be people around over here. Just due to where the plane path was, due to it being, like, off-center. Like, you got to think, not that many people are coming from Kameshki to the circle. Not that many people are coming from Stauber to this circle. Not that many people are coming from Lipovka to this circle. So there's way less likely chance for there to be people on this side. Or a lower density of players on this side. But now we're getting up close to the center, so all those players that like to play the center of the circle, like this guy behind this tree that we just saw, are going to be around here. He just shot. I don't know if he shot at me or if he shot at someone else. You can see him pushing down below us. Scar's pretty good right now. With the vert grip. Can still top fire pretty damn fast. Alright, we heard shots above us. Let's push those. This is the guy seen down below. So, I mean, you just got to think, like, about how people play, right? Chances are, like, some people like to play center of the circle, right? So there's going to be some of those people in your game. So when you're pushing towards the center of the circle, realize there's probably a guy out here chilling somewhere near next to the center of the circle. Player moving down the hill. Now, this might have been one of the guys shooting earlier that we just heard. And he might have been, I mean, if you think about it, he's probably running away from the fight, considering he's running back down the hill. Because the shots sounded like they took place further away. I'd never heard any shots, like, right about where that guy was running to. So I'd imagine there's probably another guy up the hill somewhere. If we were paying attention to the kill feed there, we could have seen, hey, did this guy that we just kill anybody? Because then it paints like a different picture. Maybe he was running to the dead body. Maybe he wasn't. I've seen a piece of him. We've already got the advantage there. Like, he had to have been pretty low. So we just don't want to play over aggressive and kind of slow play it. If you think about it, you just play slower, a little bit slower. There's a point of playing too slow. Like, we're not just going to stop. I kept pushing to get the rock so that I could lean the rock and use the rock as cover. We knew we heard him. I heard him run back here. I heard him stop. If he starts medding at that point, it's just an easy kill for us to, like, okay, he's medding, push him a little bit faster, you know, peek him right now. Because he's not going to have the time to stop the med and fire in time to recover. And he's going to be anxious, like, is this guy going to push me? He's going to try to read what we're doing to him. So, just don't play over-aggressive in a situation like that where you've already scored damage. And, I mean, if he goes for the med, it just makes it easier for us to kill him. He's pinning himself down. We heard pretty much where he was. He's past to put his gun away, start medding. That gives us, like, really, in this game, like, a 3-second advantage on him. Because it takes so long to cancel a med, get your gun up, and be able to fire. So, circle's coming in. I heard someone shooting over here. There he is. He's down below us on the hill. He's pushing in. He's going to be in the blue. I don't really, like, I could stop and shoot him right now, but it's kind of a bad decision because the blue's moving in too, and we don't know. There could be another guy up here. So, the smart play in this situation is to just push in and to not shoot and wait for him to have to run in and then kill him when he's running in through the blue. But I will not always make that play because sometimes I just like to play greedy and just go for the kill. But really, it would end up putting us in a way worse spot by doing that. Guy down there on the coastline shooting. Like, this guy, he's probably going to be able to make it in. Like, this is death circle. If he's got a few meds, he should be able to make it at least close enough for us to kill him. He's not really a threat to us, though. This type of guy is a threat. Thought I maybe heard a guy behind us, so I'm going to check this too. I heard him. That's probably the guy, right? He was just sprinting the whole time, so he could have made it in. And we knew he has to come in right around this area. He's not going to push towards the buildings through the open gap. Well, it's unlikely. He could, but it's very unlikely for him to do that. I swear I maybe heard someone up above us, which could happen. We did kill a few people on this hill, but that doesn't... It makes it less likely that someone's going to be up here, but it doesn't make it 100% that someone's not going to be up here. Like, this is the point where you should really start tracking shots in the game. Really, as long as you're capable of it, you should be tracking shots. There's a guy down the hill. Seen him? He's at the tree. He might have seen me. Yeah, he's seen us. He's peeking. Looks like he has a level 3 helmet, so we probably shouldn't peek it. Likely, if he's got a level 3 helmet, what does that mean? He's got a crate gun. You know, half those guns from the crate, M24, AWM, even if it's a Mark 14. Mark 14 is going to wreck us, and our helmet's going to probably be jacked. And if it's a sniper, we're just instantly dead if we re-peek him. And he's got a level 3 helmet. We can't really challenge with a scar, so it's not a smart fight to take. Should probably wait for a better opportunity. Am I 100% he had a level 3? No, but it looked like he had one. And you shouldn't get into a stare-down battle with someone that has a level 3 helmet because he's likely got a sniper rifle. Even then, you should kind of fill out the fight. If this dude's just staring at me, you don't know if he's got a Kar 98 or not. And if you got a level 2 helmet, you probably shouldn't hard peek it. Especially if he's got a level 3 helmet, because then he has an AUM, maybe. You can just one-bop you. So instead, let's not just get into this straight-up fight with him. Maybe we reposition, attack him from a different side, different angle here. There's a guy right there. Might be him. Might be the same dude. Probably is. Right around the same area. I just seen him right here. Graze the top of this hill. Now, I mean, it's kind of a bit of time has passed, too, with this few players that people could be flanking around the circles. So we could easily get a guy above us here, too. Circle's gone pretty centered. This guy has to move in pretty far. I'm worried about my back here. Like, up here, someone comes there, we're in a really bad spot against them. Like, that's my weakest spot. Now, this might be the guy. That might be him. He could have pushed that far down, and it could be him because he has a level 1 helmet that's darker, so I might have mistaken it as a level 3. See, I want to clear out my back here. I want to make sure someone's not here, because if someone's here, they can just come down behind us. So we just heard Rizio shoot someone like pretty much opposite side of the circle from us with a UMP. We know there's a guy at that tree. Likely he didn't kill the guy at that tree with the UMP. So, I mean, we know where 2 people are, most likely. We know where we're at, so there's only 2 people we really don't know where they're at. Hip, hip, hoppity-hoo-ha. There's one. He's super lit. I hit him in the head and then either body or arm after that. He has a level 3 helmet, so he has crate gear. Level 3'd out of his mind. You'd like to just get rid of this guy if you could. He's staring down the hill. There's another guy looking down the hill right there, looking like he's looking at the guy we saw earlier. He's shooting a suppressed, it sounds like AUG or Mark 14. So he is shooting at the guy down the hill at that tree. That's exactly who he's shooting at. So we almost know where everybody's at now, I think. This guy's going to move in. He's dead. So this dude's looking down the hill, likely at the guy that we saw at the tree, and then we got the dude all the way south with a UMP. Is likely the situation at 100%? No, but that's likely what's happening. There's him. See? Neither one of those were Rizio, right? So, I'm pretty sure. So this Rizio guy is over here. And it is exactly like we've seen. See? Here he is. UMP guy. Now down at the bottom of the tree. He's got a Kar 98, so we probably shouldn't hard peek him. We have the circle here. So if we just hold him at that tree until he has to move, he's screwed. We can also peek him from a different angle as well. He's got to still be there. I don't think he could have moved from the tree that fast. Yeah, he's still there, see? But he sees us. Now, he's got a car 98, so if he just headshots us, boom, he wins the game, right? But he's in a really bad spot now. Like, if we just pressure him to stay there until he has to move, if we can hold him there for 45 seconds, then he's fucked, pretty much. He'd have to hit some crazy shot. So we're going to try to give ourselves the best odds here. Shoot at him a couple times, let him know we're still here. Let him know we're still concentrated on him so he gets nervous about moving. The longer we hold him there, we wait for him to move. So we don't take any freaking chances. If we want to play this the right way. He's smoking now, it looks like. He just threw something. Now I tagged him. 10 seconds. Easy.
And his name is John C.
Boom! Bringing home the win. The winner, winner, chicken dinner.